Hello, trading is closed on Thursday, August 26th, 2021. Let's do our usual review of our disclaimer. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, Friday, 27th of August, 2021. Remember, no one's perfect. I can be completely wrong, and all trades should be at your own risk. Here's what we said. Bulls need to rally early, clear the high to continue the advance. That never happened, obviously. Reluctant to call it top, but if we drop right from the open, you can explain it after the fact. So we dropped from the open. We did have a pretty good size drop. We had a target 44.9109, and that printed mild support under the target. We'd asked earlier in the week if we'd see 44.7340, and we did. We're now under the target. There's support under the target, but having challenged it so many times, it's very likely to break further on the downside. Only question is whether you'll bounce first. Number of reasons to make it plausible, even though I'm not predicting it. One is we gapped down, hit lower lows, closed over all the lows. We also have higher optional MEJT targets, 44.9181 and 44.8603. They're optional, they don't have to print, but they often do. I'd be happier if they didn't, because if this is a real top, as the wave count suggests, usually you leave some failed MEJT targets behind. During the day, we got a sell signal and an ultimate sell signal in the afternoon, but of course we got the optional higher target too. Well, this is the count we're using. It's a perfectly good count, but until we take out some prior lows, we have to continually remind ourselves that we've had good counts before and then we just continued higher. I'd like to see this low fall at a minimum, and preferably this one. If it does fall, it should be a fall comparable to blue white, but we've been saying that for some time, and it just keeps going higher. Well, this is a pretty clear count for ABC. You could argue that it's an ABC down. I don't think it's enough. There's no fib relationship between these things. And usually when this pattern is negative instead of positive, more decline's coming. Again, it would take clearing this high early, ideally by gapping over it, to invalidate the implication of today's action. Doesn't mean you have to drop right from the open. These are the patterns I'm expecting for next week. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high. We could still gap down. Today's normally bullish pattern was bearish instead. It should lead to further decline. Only questions whether or not we have a bounce first. We have higher optional MEJT targets. They'll print tomorrow a higher percentage of the time, but if they don't, we'll forget them. We gapped down, hit lower low, closed over all the intraday lows. Also argues for a bounce even if we close down. Gapping and promptly undercutting today's low would vitiate that signal. And if today's action is as bearish as the wave count suggests it is, it's very likely to happen even though futures are up, but it's not luck. So pretty negative action would take a lot to invalidate it. Lower prices should be coming. Tomorrow has the early high. Only question in my mind is if you bounce first. If we get confirmation of this break, that's a very reasonable candidate for the end of the leg up. And that is today's call.